Oh, not all at once.
Hello, bASHAR.
And a you good day.
Oh my gosh.
Speak up, speak up.
Okay. So it's a pleasure being in your presence, first off.
It is always an honor and a pleasure for us to interact with each and every one of you as well.
And okay, so I have so many questions, but the
Yes.
main question that I would like to ask is, what is an aurora borealis, or like the southern lights? It
What
just feels like,
is it?
Right. I mean, I know scientifically what they say that it is, but I feel like it's like a connection to another realm or dimension.
Well, it can be representative of such a thing. The scientific explanation is generally correct for the actual physiological phenomenology. Nevertheless, there are many vortices on your planets, many different kinds of dimensional gates. Sometimes an aurora can interact with such a gate, such a dimensional doorway, and illuminate it temporarily for a variety of reasons. But the idea is that it may be associated with such things from time to time, but it is not in and of itself such a thing. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Oh, one other thing. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So, what about Antarctica? I'm so connected to Antarctica right now, and I just feel like it's some truths that are going to develop from there, as far as like developing the higher consciousness. I don't know.
Well, it can be used that way. It is, now that it is covered with ice, a very giant reflective mirror for a variety of things in consciousness. It is to some degree representative of a clean slate, because on your planet, no one really owns it. Do you understand?
Yes.
No one really occupies it in the way that you occupy other land masses on your planet. So it is a kind of place where coming together can happen, where a clean slate can be created energetically and in consciousness. It is something that can function as a starting point. Now, eventually, as it was a long time ago, the ice will go away and the land masses underneath the ice will be revealed once again in the future. And it can be a starting place to create a new society on your planet in the far future that can be far more representative of a balanced and blended society that is harmonious within itself. And that energy can spread around your planet to the rest of the land masses as well. So it can be used in a variety of creative ways, yes. But it is also for you a connection to the idea of what you call the ancient past, when there was no ice on it, when it was occupied by some of the ancient civilizations of your planet. So you have a connection to those time frames and a connection to the experiences of those that actually occupied that landmass when there was no ice. You understand?
Yes.
But you are recognizing now the completion of a cycle. It's coming around again. Yes?
Yes. Yes. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes. Does that help you?
Yes, it does very much.
All right. Anything else?
So many things, but no, I'll just watch your videos and just follow my higher consciousness. Yes.
Act on your highest passion to the best that you are able. Don't forget the third part, with zero insistence on the outcome.
That's right. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And then you will flow in the current that is true for you. Please remember, all of you, surrendering is not giving up control. It's surrendering to the control you already have.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Go with the flow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, bASHAR.
And a you good day.
I'm still fairly new to your transmissions, so...
Oh, that's all right. We are obviously then fairly new to yours.
My first question is, what is lucid dreaming?
Lucid dreaming is an awareness that you are not really locked in a physical reality. It is an awakening in a dream state, typically speaking, that allows you to know you are actually beyond the physical, that you have awoken on the spirit level and recognize that the dream you were having is just a creation of yours. And once you are lucid in the dream, you can connect to what we call the blueprint level from which physical reality is created, from which it is projected, and actually become more lucid in the physical dream as well. So it's a very powerful state of recognizing a perspective from the level of consciousness above physical reality, where you actually become awake on that level rather than remaining in what you call a typical dream. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right.
So, From a young child, I've been lucid dreaming this entire time. I'm 38 years old now.
Oh, all right.
And in
What do you
these,
do when you wake up in the dream?
I've actually trained myself to do different things, different abilities, different experiences,
All right.
traveling to different
Yes.
dimensions, planets. What I've seen,
How exciting.
what looked like native people to Earth, but not.
Well, some, not all, some of the native people on Earth actually did come from elsewhere,
That makes sense.
especially what you call the Maya.
Yeah. So recently, within the past 2 years, some new experiences have come to light where I wake up and I can't tell the difference between this reality and the dream state.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is how our civilization now functions. We don't sleep anymore because we understand that the physical reality is a dream every bit as much as the idea of what you typically call a dream. And therefore we are now not only lucid in the idea of physical reality, therefore we don't break a connection or create the idea of a disconnection between the physical and the non-physical. It's all the same kind of consciousness projection to us, and therefore we are always awake and always dreaming. That's why we no longer sleep. So you are beginning to experience that blending that we have experienced long ago in our culture. You are evolving to the point where you recognize that you're always connected to Source, you're always connected to Spirit, and therefore you don't really have to go unconscious anymore to make that connection happen. You can be wide awake and realize that the connection is always there, and that physical reality can be just as flexible, just as malleable as anything you would call a typical dream. Yes?
Yes.
And so,
So
are you having fun?
I am having fun.
All right.
My main question would be, what do I do with all the information that I've been receiving over the years?
How would you like to apply it to your life on Earth? What excites you? The idea of acting on your passion is staying in alignment with your truth. So whatever form of expression creatively you wish to use the information in, how you wish to apply the information, is up to you. That's completely under your control. Whatever's most exciting for you in terms of its application. Use your imagination. Download information from the higher mind. How can you use some of the experiences and information that you have gathered in your lucid dreaming?
That makes sense.
Can you give an example?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. Dream one up.
Well, most of the time I use the information that I receive to teach and give knowledge to others that I
Well, isn't
experience
that
with.
exciting?
It is very exciting because it's something that they've never experienced to
Well,
themselves.
then there you go. That's one application, isn't it?
It definitely is.
Is there some other application you would also like to express that you're not expressing at this time that would be exciting and a representation of your passion?
None that resonate with me.
You have nothing else in life that gives you passion.
Not really.
Oh. But does the teaching express
does.
your passion?
It does.
All
Absolutely.
right. Do you need to do anything else?
I don't know. I feel like I do.
You feel like you do.
Yeah.
Well, what do you imagine that might be?
I don't
Maybe
know.
you're looking for something too big. Remember that when we talk about the idea of acting on your excitement, we don't necessarily mean it has to come in the form of a career or a job or some life-spanning project. We mean simply, at every single moment, look at all the options available to you and just act on the one that contains even just this much more excitement than any other option, and act on that first to the best you're able till you can act on it no further, and do it with no insistence on what the outcome should look like. If you just keep doing that, you'll be doing everything you need, and you'll open up the avenue of synchronicity to bring you, in an obvious way, any other opportunity that you do need to act on that might be a larger expression, a fuller expression of your excitement. But if nothing else comes in that form, it doesn't necessarily need to, because if you're always acting on whatever is more exciting than any other option, you are still living your excitement every moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
I assume, not meaning this in an egotistical way, but I assume you are here today because it excited you to come here more than any other option at the moment.
Yes.
Well, that's all that we're talking about. When this interaction is over, all you need to do is say, well, what's available to me? I could take a walk, I could read a book, I could have lunch with a friend, I could make a phone call, I could see a movie, I could fly a kite, I could go sailing, I could go surfing, I could go flying. Just pick the one that has a little bit more attractiveness, a little bit more excitement, or a lot more than any other, and just do that first and see where it leads you. It's following that thread that will ultimately connect you to anything else you actually need to be doing that is representative of your excitement, because one of the tools of excitement is that it is a path that connects to all expressions that are relevant for your life. So if you just start the ball rolling in some way, shape, or form, it will lead you to all the other forms in which you need to express your excitement. You can keep it simple and start simply first. Does that help?
It does.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for such an exciting conversation.
Hello, bASHAR.
And you good day.
I have a question regarding negative beliefs.
Negative beliefs.
You say that when you realize a negative belief, it automatically seems illogical, and you drop it.
Nonsensical, and it's gone. As soon as
gone.
it seems nonsensical, it's gone. However, if you still keep doing the same things, still keep having the same feelings, thoughts, and behaviors, and they haven't changed, you haven't found the fundamental belief.
Yes.
You may have let go of a secondary one, and that's fine. But when you let go of the fundamental negative belief, all the secondary ones that are attached to it will also collapse. If you just find a secondary one and let it go, that doesn't mean you've approached the fundamental one.
How do I approach
Keep
and
digging.
find?
Keep digging. Keep asking. What I need to believe is true about myself in this circumstance in order to keep feeling the way I do. And don't be afraid to find that belief. Remember that negative beliefs will do their best to perpetuate themselves, and one of the best things they do to do that is to make you afraid to find them.
Why do they do it in the first place?
That's how they're designed.
Why did we design negative
Because
beliefs?
you can't have an experience if it doesn't have a mechanism to perpetuate itself, because it's not really happening. Physical reality is an illusion. It's all happening in your consciousness. If you didn't buy into the idea that a belief system was actually real, you wouldn't be having any kind of a physical experience at all. So all beliefs, positive and negative, and even neutral ones, have to have a mechanism, have to be designed in such a way as to make you believe that they're real and that no other experience at that moment is possible, or you can't have the focus you need to have a physical experience that is based on the belief.
So we should treat the belief like a friend and be
Absolutely.
grateful that it shows up, and ask
Absolutely.
and keep asking.
Absolutely. And be willing to hear the answer.
And at some point we reach the core belief, and then
Yes.
Is it possible in our life to let go of all negative beliefs?
Absolutely.
And simply live a blissful life?
Yes. Now, you will keep letting things go, but they may no longer be negative beliefs. You will simply, at some point, transition, or can transition, into simply letting go of what is no longer relevant for you. So you will keep streamlining yourself. It's just that you can cross the threshold from letting go of negative beliefs to simply letting go of any beliefs that are simply no longer relevant for your experience.
Okay, thank you.
So yes, you can do that. You can also change your theme in the middle of the life and invite a whole new set of negative beliefs in if you want to have a different experience.
And I do that consciously, just say, okay, my theme, I would like to change my theme.
Yes, you can say that, but you have to be honest about whether you're actually done with the other theme. And your
How do I know?
your synchronicity will show you whether you are.
Okay. Another question. I have, in the last couple of weeks and month, I've dreamt a lot about UFO sightings. And also I dreamt about you talking to me.
Yes, yes, yes.
What does it mean? That was real contact, or is it
It means
just
you've
symbolic?
contacted or tapped into our collective consciousness using me as a symbol to have an interaction.
So it
Because
doesn't
I am acting as a permission slip for you to not only talk to your own higher mind, but to tap into frequencies that may be representative of extraterrestrial consciousness in general, and whether it is ever actually specifically me or not isn't the point. You're using me as a guide and a vibration that you recognize to tap into what you need to tap into extraterrestrially to download whatever information you require at that time. So I am very honored to be used that way. It isn't always me, however.
Okay. And when you scan my energy, is there something that is relevant for me to know, like connections that I have?
I will
paths?
always ask the same question.
Following
Are
mine.
you living your highest passion to the best of your ability?
I do.
are...
More and more.
Thank you for your honesty. So that means that sometimes you do not.
Yeah, I still have some negative beliefs that I
All right.
would like to let go of.
Well, have fun of discovering what they are, because remember, the point of your life is the process itself of discovery. There is nowhere else you need to be that's more important.
Okay. And one last question. Ever since I was a little kid, I used to be very restless in my sleep and do sleepwalking and talking in my sleep, and
Yes.
I never knew why. I don't like it.
Oh,
Why
all right.
do
But
I
there
do
can
that?
be several reasons for that. It depends on what's going on with you specifically. One reason can be that you are, in a sense, reacting to an encounter that you may be having with other beings in other dimensions. Another may simply be that you have a kind of a connection that doesn't really go away when you are out of your body, when you are visiting other dimensions, and your body may be acting like a puppet representing what you're doing somewhere else.
So I am active in my sleep time and visit different dimensions, and that's how I react, like my body
And
reacts.
sometimes your body may still be connected in such a way that it's kind of acting out what you're going through on another level.
So I should just leave it like it is and not do something about
You can
it.
tell yourself when you go to sleep that the body can remain and it will be safe, and it doesn't necessarily have to act out what's going on another level.
Okay.
Yes?
Okay.
And it will pay attention eventually.
Thank you. Do I have any hybrid children?
You do have some connection to the hybridization agenda, but we will not go into details
Okay.
at this particular moment.
Thank you very much, bASHAR.
You are very welcome.